is there a sort of a virtuous, magnanimous, kind of positive way, if you like, of gaining, wielding influence and kind of creating a sort of a situation that, yes, maybe it is political by definition, but it actually helps and it actually wouldn't work if it wasn't there?
Yeah, I think there are many examples of that. And I mean, I've heard those played back from delegates. I also see it in the research, the literature review that I'm doing for my PhD, is that over the last 20 years, academic research has shifted to, okay, what are the possibilities here if people are using this well? And so one piece of research that I can think of off the top of my head is people whose managers are more politically engaged are themselves more engaged because they're able to be more effective. And blow me down, I read this statistic, and this study was done with almost 200 managers and people. And not even a week later, I had a delegate play out this exact thing. In her case, it was the opposite, but it's still the same point. So what she was telling me and the rest of the group was about this manager that she worked for that was absolutely wonderful, incredible, impressive, technically skilled. I mean, she sang her praises. And then I was trying to connect the dots when a few minutes later she was saying, but I've put in for a transfer. I thought, okay, hold on, I've missed something here. And what I'd missed, she went on to explain, was that her managers simply would not engage in the politics. She would not have the prep meeting. She would not do the socializing. She would not do, if you want to use it pejoratively, the lobbying, if you want to use it positively, the homework and the stakeholder engagement to get a decision over the line.
Right.
And so she said, so we can't get things done here. We just can't be effective because, this is also part of the reality is the more senior you get, the more you have to understand that the politics are not a distraction from your job. I love the way you said it. They're not a bug. They are your job. They're
Right.
not the teacher. They are your job.
Yeah.
Because you are going into any organization. And I mean, I've worked in the public sector, I've worked in NGOs, I've worked in the private sector. And so this is a feature of all organizations, whatever their type. Organizations are places of competition and conflict. And that conflict, of course, it can be destructive, or again, it just is. And why? Well, because you've got infinite demands in the face of finite opportunities and resources. And even when the strategy is very clear and the vision is very clear and the culture and the values are shared, there is still conflict in terms of perspectives and priorities and focus. And so in that space of inevitable conflict and competition, which again, I mean, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, does not have to be destructive, but which is, how you navigate that to get the attention and resources and energy and approval for what your part of the organization is needing to deliver, along with other parts. Well, this is the political. This is not stuff that happens in a spreadsheet. And I was speaking to a group yesterday and I was saying, this is one of the big traps. Like I said, is that being correct is enough to be effective. No, you've got all the right answers. But with somebody with more political capital, more political firepower, more persuasive ability is going to get their answer across the line. And I shared a case study that I've put together of how a whole organization collapsed as a result. The CEO was 100% correct, and history has proven that. Wasn't effective, didn't go anywhere. So even a CEO, even somebody with 20 years perspective that we can look at and can say was correct, that's not enough. Your job is to navigate that landscape and to make things as effective as you can, like I say, for your stakeholders and your team, but in pursuit of the bigger purpose of the company. Again, it's just about you, that you're a sociopath.